is Rideshare Radio, episode 3.
Welcome.
Hello, we're here. Episode 3, Rideshare Radio. This is the TheKannaKid over here. And I'm your host, co-host, Alan Jackson McPherson. Let's go. Y'all ready for this? Rideshare Radio?
I think we're pretty ready.
Yeah, so it's just Super Bowl in Phoenix. You know, congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers for winning. And,
Mazel tov.
you know, better luck next time for the other Fooks?
Fooks?
The other Fooks.
Those motherfuckers.
This is, yes, Fargan Ice Holes. And so we had the Phoenix Open, as always, at the time of the Super Bowl. And then we got the Super Bowl actually here as well. So it was popping. And as far as rideshare drivers, Uber drivers, as we both are, we were out there on the streets. While everybody else was partying, we were making that fetty wop
spaghetti.
You know it. Hey.
I did so.
You did so?
Yeah.
How many hours did you put in?
I don't know.
How many rides? It should be counting your quests, right?
Oh, yeah. 43.
I did 58 rides. And then I kind of lost a day in there with some edibles, which wasn't planned. And then I did a chunk after 4 a.m. on Monday, so it didn't count as the 48.
See, I tried to...
or 58, sorry, 50. You did 43, I did 58.
I try to eat with the family before I go, so I don't buy food on the streets.
Yeah.
But sometimes dinner's fun, and I don't hit the road till late. And I live out in the middle of fucking nowhere, so I drive into town. But
got it. So what?
I don't know.
Are you hungry?
No, we just ate.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Paisanos in Mesa for the food.
Isn't this
for taking my money? Oh no, Tempe. Sorry, I don't even know where I live.
Yeah, I drove in the. I will say this, the Uber navigation app fucking sucks.
It's pretty bad. It's gotten pretty bad.
It is so terrible. And I was listening to it, and I was driving. All right. Well, first off, I was dropping these people off in one of those concert venue areas because there's concerts going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, I was following the sign, and because the nav was telling me to turn up ahead, and then there's another sign that was trying to tell me to turn left. So I went up ahead a little bit, and I noticed that this next left turn, the only left turn there was.
Yeah.
Before I had to cross the bridge and go flip
and
a big ass U-turn, and I had these chicks in the back like, oh, we can't be fucking late, and I straight up cut off the entire line for the keeping my dead bumper to bumper traffic. I fucking cut off the entire line, and then I go straight and I ignore because it's bumper to bumper everywhere. It's like driving in fucking LA kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I just did that, and I just fucking got right behind the car that was already blocking traffic to get into the thing, and everybody's honking their horns at me, and I'm like, yeah, forget about it, you know.
I'm driving over here.
We got fucking places to be.
Yeah.
And then
did they give you 3? Is that the one?
I mean, yeah, and then they gave me 3 stars.
I wonder why. They were egging you on though?
I don't know. It's all.
I don't know if they were cheering or screaming.
Sometimes I gotta shout out R.I.P. Paul Walker.
Yeah, what's going on?
And then do some stuff for family.
Do it for family. That's what you gotta do,
And then also, so then I came back the next day, right? And I'm like, all right, this is the same area. I know I can take a left turn at that 1 second spot. then they had that shit coned off, so there was no left turn. So
Yeah.
they're probably like, there's this fucking faguli over there.
This guy. Yeah, you ruined it for the rest of us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I figure all that, and then I'm dropping those people off, and because so now, the first day I went down that lane, it was like bumper to bumper traffic, and I was really marinating in the aisle of the auxiliary road, right?
Okay.
And but this time, because they had no unprotected left turn going in there, and they only had right turns going in there, it was fairly dead. So like there's actual traffic flow. And so I'm sitting there and I'm trying to drive as slow as fucking possible because I'm doing a pickup there now.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I thought this was gonna be drag nuts. And but traffic's flowing. And but I see the dude on the GPS, and his spot's like moving around the building and slowly coming to me type deal.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying so hard. And I finally get to the point where the car, like, I'm spacing out, and I stopped, and the car behind me starts honking at me. and so then I do the slow creep, and then right at the last minute, like, they all like jump in the car as I'm driving.
Oh shit!
Kind of deal.
Damn. They made it though. You got them. They didn't give you a 3-star?
They did not give me a 3-star.
Yeah. I'm still rocking my 5 after this weekend. It's pretty good.
Whatever.
Which I'm kind of surprised I might have something coming in because, like I was saying, I drove till like 6:30 a.m. this morning, and I decided it was pretty dope though because everyone was going to the airport. So from like 3:30ish, 3:30 there was nobody at the airport, and I was dropping people off, and they're like, "Yeah, I beat it."
Right.
But then it was steady flow of $20 to $25 trips for like 10 minutes to the airport from Tempe, Scottsdale, whatever. It got a little heinous though. I had 2 hours left, and I had to come home because I kept like waking up at Terminal 3 type shit. Like, oh hey,
move your fucking car.
What was there? The drop off again? I hit the brakes, and I'm like, hey. So
3 stars.
I decided, it's time to go home. I did this weekend though. I definitely got my first little batch of people trying to give me cash, and I did some of them.
Right.
Like one, I pulled up to this spot, and it was for this lady, and I pull up and nobody's coming, and then I text, I go to text, and there's a guy, I saw him, he's looking at me right when I pull up, and I'm like, okay, that's not my guy though, because he's like in front, so he's reading the license plate, and then he walks up to me, he's kind of drunk, he's like, hey, you an Uber? And I'm like, yeah, but I got a fare, and he's like, fuck that guy. $50, you take me home right now. And I was like, all right, because they hadn't come out. It was about to start
right
charging them or whatever. So I fucking canceled on him, which is probably not the best. Uber probably don't like that. But I canceled on him. He's like, let me go get my friend. He's pretty wasted. I'm like, okay. And he walks over and he gets his dude. And while he's walking over, I pull up a little. And then I see a group of girls come out and start reading my bumper. Like, that was probably them.
Right.
I loaded up the drunk dudes and we hit it. It was 5 minutes. And then he tried to not give me the cash, though.
Right.
So, Uber tip number whatever the hell.
3 maybe.
Maybe. If you're going to do a cash ride, you get the cash up front, and he says $50, and you're like, yeah, give me the money.
Yeah,
bada bing, bada boom. Then you take him home.
Forget about it. Cancel that bitch.
So I told him, he's like trying to get out, like, oh, here we are. Yep. Thanks for the ride, fella. Whoop-de-doo. And I'm like, what about the cash? And he's like, oh, what was it again? And I'm thinking, I'm not gonna. It was 5 minutes away. Like, I'm not gonna tax this dude 50. I'm not gonna. And I said, whatever you want, buddy. And he gave me $40.
Right. I did something similar to that. Not so lucky. So I'm the same scenario. I pulled up. I've been waiting there. I've messaged the person. I'm not getting anything back, and I see the GPS thing, and they're still binging inside the bar. And then there's this drunk guy, that was there on his phone. Saw me roll up, eyeballing the whole situation. And he comes up and he's like, "Hey man, like I live like 5 minutes away, kind of deal. Drive me home, I'll throw you some cash or whatever."
Mhm.
And I'm like, nah, cause like I've been waiting there, and I'm like, I'm certain this guy, and we're talking for a little bit, and I'm like, all right, well, fuck. And the really shitty part is the dude dropped a pin, Uber tip or whatever the fuck, number 4, I guess. You guys are greasy bastards.
Wait, how's that a tip?
This isn't a tip, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. You Uber patrons are greasy bastards. When you drop your pin in an outrageous area that the car isn't in radius to for the message to
it won't auto send.
Right.
Because you got to be close enough to the pin as the driver for the message to actually send to you to be like, hey, they arrived, and then to say that we're there.
And then that gives us a counter, right? And so whenever it hits 5 minutes, we can cancel the. I mean,
so maybe that's why.
No, so we can.
So you can't cancel.
So we can cancel the trip and not get penalized as drivers.
Yeah, because we get
kind of deal.
But they don't want you to cancel. They want you to wait for them.
Right.
So you put the pin in the outrageous spot. You can never actually check in. There's never.
Right.
So they're fleecing the system.
Right.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Well, we just gave you the game.
So yeah, right. They're like, write this one down.
Either one, you want to help us or hurt us. You wouldn't hurt this.
But the drunk guy, he's like, "Oh, give me a ride home. I'll throw you some loot," kind of deal. Yeah. And I was like, "All right, for sure, whatever." Yeah, because the guy's not coming out. Like, cancel it.
Yeah.
And it's late, and I just want to fucking go home.
Yeah, I feel that.
And it was only 6 minutes away, no big deal. And the guy's, he's fucking 3 sheets to the wind. And I was just like, yeah.
You didn't stiff him on the. Yeah, so that's what it is. Just to not make a weird situation where someone's leaving. Because once you're at their house, like, what are you going to do? Lock your doors and start driving? Like, that's kidnapping. So don't do that. As a driver, emphasis tip number 3, get the money first.
I was going to say tip number 4, don't kidnap your Uber.
Tip number 4. Yeah, fuck. So there you go. Are the tips for the drivers or the passengers?
Anybody that'll
listen. Rideshare Radio. Anybody that'll listen. There you go.
And then I had one group of people that I picked up. This was just the other night, and well, especially because the one incident, catch out our first episode.
Episode 1, shout out
1 for the one part. Ever since the one incident that I explained in episode 1, I even like when I get like weed tips and shit like that, I try to fucking like
smoke it as fast as possible.
Yeah, no.
Goodness.
No, just like douse a gang of Ozium or whatever, not smoke at all.
Yeah, no, it's
whatsoever.
It's not good.
And all that stuff,
People
blah
don't
blah
like
blah.
it, stick with the peaches.
And so like, and this time I didn't even have weed on me or anything, and I hadn't been smoking. And there's this one group of people that got in the car and they're like, "Yeah, you really would like weed, huh?" And I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, it's really good. You're probably really high right now." And I'm like, "No, what?" You're like, "Yeah, yeah, that weed's really good."
It's like making you uncomfortable or what?
Right? No, like almost like pressing me, kind of deal. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Like, what do you people know about me that I don't know? You know?
Right? They must have watched the first episode.
They watched the first episode. But your first fans in real life. That's pretty awesome.
But no, and then they all get all right. Well, then we pull out to the one spot, and the one guy's so drunk he passes out in my front seat.
Oh, right? No.
He's like, starts snoring and stuff in his butt.
Yeah.
But then they tipped me
$4.20. What's wrong with them? That's funny. They had some good stuff. Maybe they're out of town where it's not legal.
The one dude was absolutely soft.
I've definitely gotten some nugs as tips. Doesn't happen for me very often. Seems like it happens to you a lot. You always have that kind of story. I don't.
Yeah, I'm friendly with the people. I've got nugs for tips. The one homie, yeah, you corrected me the one time. I was like, I got mushrooms. You're like,
No.
no, you're like, you got part of a mushroom. You're like, I'm pretty sure if the police arrested you, they would have laughed at you.
Yeah. No, I picked up this dude. Okay, so you have quests, right? And throughout the week, so by Monday or Saturday or Wednesday or whatever, you have to pick your quest for the weekend, and it's the volume. So you get to pick if you can do 20, 40, 50, 60 drives, trips or whatever, and you get paid out, get bonuses for more, right? So I picked 60, which is tough. If I only work, like I don't go to like one of the events or the Canna Crew things or something, then I can hit 60 no problem, because I could even hit 80 because I could do 30 a day, and then I would exceed it, right? Because there's even a second tier bonus. But I'm at 56 out of 60, and it ends in like 40 minutes. And I'm like, it's possible, right? So I do everything I got. I do the little fucking, I feel like Batman. I pull out the diamond status, restrict to the certain area kind of thing, right? And then I like, start denying some trips, you feel me, based on time, almost exclusively, right. But so I pick up this one guy, or I get this one guy, and I pull in, and it's at student housing by ASU, and I pull in, and then he's not outside, so I'm like, it's in this one little spot with the like apartments, and it's usually when I pull in there, the Rise it's called, and there's a bunch of people, but it's 350 all Sunday, and well, Super Bowl Monday, I guess. and I arrived, right, and I'm like, this guy's got to come out, and he's not. Damn it, really harsh in my groove. No, I don't want to cancel on him, because there's the chance of me getting another one that was as short or supposed to be is not, and I don't want to cancel a bunch. They'll kick me off. I have to come on, pain in the butt. So I keep it rolling, and he's like, "Oh, I'm coming out right now," and I'm like, "All right, bet." And then like 2 minutes or a minute goes by, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta pee real quick," and I'm like, "Goodness gracious!" And so I'm waiting, and So, like, you know what? I'm putting the music on. And when you drive the drunk people around, they're cooler with the music being loud or whatever. Actually, ask for it to be loud and stuff. And so I'm bumping the music, and I don't even remember what it was. And they get in. He finally comes out, and it's him and two other dudes. And they get in the car, and they're like, all right, let's roll. I'm like, yo, can I make a song request? And I'm like, yeah. And I hand them the tablet. And like, I don't say anything because I'm kind of salty. I've waited. And I'm trying to beat this time. That's $95 if I get those 4 trips in 40 minutes. Like, let's go. So we're moving, and I hand them the tablet, and they're like, hell yeah. And they're like super appreciative of it. And they go and they pick their music, and they're like, dicking around like, oh, you skipped my song and whoop-de-boo. And then they're like, let's play some EDM, because it was hip hop. And then but the song was dope. It was slapping, right? Sometimes it's a slapper, right? And I'm taking her to the casino at 4 a.m. and go, and then we get in there like, man, this is a dope Uber ride. He's like, we had one from Gilbert back to my house, and I asked the guy if we could listen to a certain song, and he's like, no song requests. Like, what? And in my head, I'm thinking like, damn, no song requests, like what a dick state of a driver. Like, you don't want a tip? You don't want to try to get a tip, dog? You were just going to tell him no and kill all that?
Just trying to get to A to B and get this person the fuck out of my car.
Yeah, I mean, a song, I guess if you have to pick it and you're driving, I would. But so I hand him the tablet, and we pull up to the casino, and they're getting on, like, yeah, this is dope. What's your name? Whoop-de-doo. And then they leave, and then the one guy kind of lingers. He's like, yeah, man, it just thinks. He's like, you want a bump, dog, or you just chilling? I'm like, I'm chilling. But in hindsight, if I wasn't chilling, I probably wouldn't have been falling asleep at the airport at 3 a.m.
One more ride. One more ride.
6:30. I got another one in me. No, I'm not fucking around like that. But yeah, so tips. Cocaine apparently is also offered as tips to Uber drivers. Yeah.
Food is appreciated. I've gotten food a couple times.
Only if I've taken them through a drive-thru, they always offer.
No, I had one person get off work at like a Jack in the Box. And they're like, I usually give it to my roommate, but here's a bunch of fucking onion rings and something else, you know? And I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
No. Was it like
these onion rings?
Oh no.
With the crustiest motherfucking onion rings I've ever devoured in my life. Like I bit into the first one and it was like like I was chewing a glass bottle or something.
Goodness.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So Super Bowl was pretty lit though. It was pretty busy. I had there was hella surges all over. It was different than New Year's. New Year's was certain areas. The non-party areas for New Year's were surging. My theory was that the drivers were all in Scottsdale and in the party spots. And so there weren't drivers in the outskirts. And so those places were in high demand to get to the party spots. Right?
I don't know.
But not for Super Bowl.
For Super Bowl, I was in the outskirts area, and I was just getting. I mean, like,
no, that one, Gilbert. Okay, hold on. Santan Valley is not the outskirts I'm talking about. Santan Valley is like Tatooine. Where is that? Nobody fucking knows. Okay, but there's 2 suns and sand people that'll shoot at you.
I drove into Santan Valley, right?
Yeah.
And then I just kept fucking driving.
Oh my goodness.
And even I was like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah, no. So Uber driver tip number whatever the hell, don't do that. Like, no, for real. Go take your ass to where it's surging, because the app is telling you to go there and not like do what the app tells you, but you're gonna get paid out for it, and then it'll properly adjust those rates for those santan trips. You shouldn't have been out there, and I hate to be this guy, but it shouldn't have been cheap to be out there, right? Like that should have been real money. But if you've got a driver out there that can,
So this is what happened, right? I got the thing, and this is what I've come to realize, right? Is based on like how much we're getting paid, like I can kind of guesstimate my time frame for the drive, and whenever it's like above like $25 or something, I'm like, all right, this is like above a half hour. This is more than a half hour trip. And it's like, if it's below $20, it's like a half hour, maybe less.
But when it's surging, it's different though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was doing 10-minute drives for $21.
But I guess I've never really experienced that.
That's what I'm saying, Gilbert. You got to get on the surge.
But hold on. So one came across my thing, and it was like for like $28 or something like all right, this person's
like an hour.
This go 40 minutes. And I was like, all right, this person's going to be in a car for a fucking minute, And I get in, they get in, and we start heading east, and I'm like,
East, huh?
All right,
yeah,
east.
Yeah, you're in the East Valley already.
Yeah, we're already east. Strange. And then we started going south, and I'm like,
there ain't nothing out here.
And then when we got into the bumfuck of fucking south, we started heading east again.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh,
like Coolidge or something?
I don't know.
Lawrence?
I hit the Hunt Highway eastbound, and I kept going. I drove past Arizona Farms Road.
Yeah, dog. They just took you straight out of commission. Like you weren't even in the valley anymore.
But no, it was strange. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be stuck here forever.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not gonna get any rides. So I was like, I'm gonna have to fucking whittle my way back to society.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got like 3 or 4 rides, like back to back, fucking
In that like a small distance ride?
yeah, like $9 to $11, just fucking bing bang boom. One was a double stop. And then I got hit with like a $24 one.
Back into town?
Yeah.
Right
and
on.
I was like, yeah.
Hell
You
yeah.
know? Because sometimes, and this is the fucked up thing, right? And I've had this happen to me too many times to count, where they take you to, not only do they take you to a suburb in the middle of fucking nowhere, they take you to the furthest fucking point of the suburb, and Uber doesn't nav you back out.
Yeah, no,
they're
all
like,
through the little
all
streets.
right, thanks, goodbye. You're like, oh, what the fuck?
What?
And so sometimes you don't get a ride, and you're so fucking far out that you ain't gonna get a ride.
Yeah, exactly. Maricopa, that's the one.
And you gotta fucking scratch your way out of society.
Or just bite the bullet and drive back.
Right. But I thought that was gonna happen this time. You know, I was like, oh, fuck this again. You know, but no, I just started getting bites, and I was like, as soon as I started dropping the people off, I was getting another one. I was like, thank. I was like, I don't care where you're fucking going.
Let's go, yeah.
Further east, further south. Let's just break the threshold.
Yeah, no, I ain't mad at you on that. So
if we hit the point of no return,
when something's popping in an area, and I didn't get to drive when the stadium was letting out, but in hindsight, I should have just rolled up there without the Uber app on.
Thank God I wasn't anywhere.
Well, it was plus $30, right? Yeah. So imagine how much to like go from the stadium to Scottsdale. Plus a $30 bonus, right? So like they were probably paying $80 to $100 for that Uber. So like you could go up there and be like, $60 to Scottsdale, let's roll, get in the car. Who's doing it?
Right.
You know, you got the Uber sticker. Half the time they approach you anyways.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like pull up, stand outside the car, see what somebody says. I'll be like, did you get your Uber? I mean, it's kind of sketchy. Like, that's serial killer shit, I think.
And then just, I got the Uber sticker, I swear.
Now that I'm thinking about it, like, oh. But you already get approached. Someone's going to take that.
Right.
Right? And so I was thinking about that. But I picked these dudes up.
Because instead of them doing 80 to Uber and you getting fucking just a little bit, you get fucking
cheaper for them, more for you. Uber probably doesn't like it, but guess what? Uber, you won't let me. I have to take a 6-hour break, and I had 40 minutes left. So,
and your GPS sucks.
For some reason, it always wants me to go like in the little neighborhoods. It always wants me to take the alley, or like pick them up from the alley, and I'm like, what? You have to double check what the street name is,
right? So
you're on the right, because that's not the alley. It's not worth.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So normally I take, or Sleepy told me this, and then Johnny Fab also told me from when he used to drive, that when it's popping somewhere and there's like surge or whatever, and it takes you out, turn it off and drive your happy ass back into where it's popping and get more popping rides, because that 10 to 20 minutes it's going to take you to get back, you're going to make up for that, or you'll get stuck out there doing rides on the perimeter. And when I said perimeter, I meant like Gilbert, Mesa, not Santana and Florence. But I picked up these dudes from in Scottsdale at the private jet, where the private planes, the private airport. It's like right before the 101 starts going west. North.
Right.
And I picked them up. It was 3 dudes, and they smelled different, right? So I know this is weird, but I have a really sensitive nose. and it was like
vegans.
They smell. It was like subtle, right? Like their cologne was super subtle. Their shit, and their hair had like a different kind of coif and like sun thing going on. These dudes were balling, right? And they get in. One of them flew the plane, right? They came in from San Jose. They got straight into the Uber, right? From the airstrip, straight to the stadium a couple hours before the game starts, right? Like 3 or 4 hours. And the one dude who rode in the front, they were cool though. I was talking to him. Never been to a football game before. His first football game was the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. And so the point was though that I drove them out there and then I got to drop them off at the stadium, right? But it's before the game, so it's all drop off. There's not like big pickup. You gotta wait until it's going on. So then it started to try to give me little Glendale trips that are like $4 here, $3 there. And so I turned it off and drove
not today,
back to Scottsdale. Yeah, for sure. And that worked out for me. Except maybe if I would have done those little bullshit orders, I might have hit 60.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I Super Bowl was lit. It's still going on, I think. The airport's going to be popping in the morning. Try to get on that.
Yeah, I won't be able to drive later on in the night till tomorrow night because I gotta take
kids to the doctors. All right, well, you got any more for this episode?
I think we need to get more stories.
We need to go get some more stories here. We're going out. Send us off into the blue yonder, the deep dark depths.
And if any of you guys are Uber drivers or Uber passengers with funny or outrageous stories,
Uber stories,
send them our way.
Hit us up, DMs, Gmail, Rideshare Radio Podcast at gmail.com. We can read them. You could come on and say them, whatever. We can figure it out. So,
and then follow us on our Rideshare Radio Podcast because we're trying to get that stuff.
Yeah, Rideshare Radio on YouTube, on Facebook and Twitch. Rideshare Radio Podcast on Instagram.
Fucking name.
There it is. All right. We out, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Remember, always tip your driver with cocaine.
Yeah.